got vision, he got vision, ming, 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 he got vision, he got vision, he got vision, ming, 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 he got vision, he got vision, he got vision, ming, 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 he got vision, he got vision, he got vision, ming, 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 he got vision.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to another vlog. Today we are making coconut curry chicken. It's actually a super simple recipe. If you want to jazz it up, you can jazz it up, but I'm going to make it short and simple. The prep time is about 5 minutes and the cook time is 35 minutes, so we're looking at 40 minutes total. But most of that time the chicken's in the oven and we're boiling rice. So if you want to meal prep other things at the same time, do that, or if you want to watch Netflix, whatever you want to do. But these are going to be the necessary ingredients, and we have a little bit of flexibility, but this is what I prefer to use for this recipe. Okay, so I'm going to be making 5 servings today, and we're going to do some math. Bear with me. It's going to seem a little bit complicated, but it's probably like 5th grade math skills. You just have to remember all the way back to 5th grade. Okay, so this is 1.7 pounds of chicken, and typically whenever you're tracking food, you're going to do ounces or grams, but I prefer ounces for me. So about 4 ounces is a normal serving for me. If you need a lot more protein, if you're like a dude trying to eat 200 grams of protein, 5-6 ounces of meat's a really solid serving. But for petite girls, 3-4 ounces is probably good. So we're gonna do 4 ounces today. Now there's 16 ounces in a pound. So let's start the math here. Okay, I actually drew it out for you guys, or wrote it out for you guys. So we have 4 ounces is 1 serving. And then we have a pound of chicken, or a pound of anything, is 16 ounces. And the chicken that we have is 1.71 pounds. So we're gonna multiply that by 16 to get the total ounces. Now, the tricky part whenever you're tracking meat is that meat actually reduces in size and weight when you cook it because of evaporation. So if you take a 4-ounce chicken breast that's raw, and then you put it on the skillet and cook it, it actually ends up only being 3 ounces. So whenever you're tracking in MyFitnessPal or you're tracking in whatever app, if you just search chicken, it's just gonna be raw chicken. So just make sure if you're weighing it cooked, then you're tracking it cooked. If you're weighing it raw, you're tracking it raw. But nonetheless, what we're gonna do is we're just gonna simplify it, and we're gonna take this 27.2 ounces that the chicken weighs, and we're gonna multiply it by 0.75, so that will account for the reduction in the weight. So we end up with 20 ounces. That's what it's gonna end up weighing when we're done cooking it. And then we divide it by that 4-ounce serving and we get to 5. So hopefully you guys followed that. If not, I'm sure there are better YouTube tutorials on that, but it's actually not too complicated once you've done it a couple times. And then when you're tracking it in MyFitnessPal, just go to create a recipe, and then you're gonna track everything in bulk. And then from there, you can decide how many servings you want to make. So I'll also put up a little slide of MyFitnessPal so you can follow along there. But we're going to go ahead and get started with preheating the oven and getting the water boiling. So we're going to use basmati rice. If you like fluffier, softer rice, go with jasmine. I personally don't really like that mushy rice kind of rice, so I go with basmati. So I'm just going to follow the directions on the back of the bag. If you have a rice cooker, use your rice cooker. It's probably a lot easier and there's less room for error, but I don't have a rice cooker, so we're just gonna do the 2 cups of rice and the 3.5 cups of water. Follow the directions and get that going. So I'm gonna show you guys a little shortcut if you wanna be lazy with your cooking. If you want your food to taste absolutely incredible, then don't take this shortcut, but if you're lazy like me, what you're gonna do is you're gonna spray the bottom of the pan first. You're gonna pour a bunch of seasoning down, and then you're gonna lay the chicken, and then just kind of move it around a little bit so you don't have to actually flip the chicken over, re-season everything. Just takes out one little step. All right, you guys, honestly, you just need curry and salt, but if you want, or if you can get more ingredients, get more ingredients. I don't have specific measurements for you because I just kind of made this recipe up. So just watch how much I put on there and just kind of eyeball it and adjust it to your liking. I prefer to get organic chicken, but if you guys get regular chicken, make sure that you rinse it with cold water and pat dry. It will 100% change the texture and the taste of your chicken. If you want to be lazy, follow these hacks and pay the extra couple bucks and get organic chicken. So same thing on the other side, you guys. First of all, a lot of the seasoning is gonna come off whenever we put it in the coconut milk, but don't be afraid of seasoning. Don't be afraid of salt unless you have some kind of kidney disease or issue, or if you just eat only fast food all day, every day. If you somewhat eat healthy, as long as you're not salting your chicken like grandma and grandpa, season it up so that it actually tastes good, so that you actually eat the food that you cook. That is probably one of the easiest hacks that you can do to eat your meal prep food and like it. So we're gonna season this bitch up. Oof, that's a lot of turmeric. Oof, yeah, I smell it. Okay. Did I already put salt? Can you watch that clip? So we're gonna put this in the oven for 35 minutes on 375. Alexa, set a timer for 35 minutes. So green beans is next. Actually, we can do both of these at the same time. Yeah. So first we are going to put some coconut milk in a pan on the stove, and we're just gonna wait for the chicken and rice to be done. So let's do medium-high heat. And I don't have a specific amount of coconut milk that I use, but I think about two cups should be good. Let's see. Oh, look at that. Perfect. And then I fucking love cilantro. If you don't like cilantro that much, you probably, I mean, you don't have to use this at all. But even if you do like cilantro, you probably don't need to use as much as I use. I really like cilantro, so we're just gonna add a fucking lot. We're gonna add a metric fuck ton of cilantro. Here's another lazy cooking hack for you. Get the vegetables in the bag that you can microwave. It's in the produce section, usually where there's bagged lettuce and spinach and whatnot. So this saves a lot of cook time. Microwave instructions. Place bag in microwave. Microwave on high for 2.5 to 3 minutes. And then that's it, So the rice is done, so I'm just gonna stir it a little bit so none of it sticks to the bottom. And I'm gonna move it to the back just to let it cool off. And we're still waiting for the chicken. So almost done. All right, so the chicken is done. We're gonna take it out. If you have a thermometer, use the thermometer. That's the way you can tell if your chicken is actually cooked or not. I've been cooking this chicken I've been baking my chicken for years, so I know 35 minutes for this amount of chicken, thin slice, is pretty much perfect. So we're gonna check anyways. Oh yeah, look at that. So now we're just gonna put all of the chicken in the coconut milk and let it just kind of absorb the flavor for about 5 minutes or so, and that's it. Okay, so it's been about 5 minutes. I just kind of flipped them around a little bit, let it soak in the coconut milk. And now we're just going to evenly divide these up into the meal prep containers. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Perfect. 10 chicken breasts for 5 containers. Little baby one. we'll split up the last one between these two since those were really little. All right. And then if you want to pour the extra juice on there, I would highly recommend it. All right, you guys, that's it for today. Hope you enjoy. Bon appetit.
He got bitches.